Oh, this is my note. Don't need it.
Hi,
Hello, team.
Kata. Hi, Moria.
Hi. It's like 2 in the morning here. I don't know
Oh,
how we're supposed
wow.
to do at this, guys. I can't stay awake. It's not a good one for me now.
You didn't see what we have for the warm-up for the space. It's gonna wake you up.
Mm. Thank you for joining, despite the time difference.
Hello, Uwe,
Hello, you all.
with
Hi,
with the
Uwe.
with the legendary spoon and food.
No, it's a fork this time. You're wrong.
Okay. Cool. Hello, Kata. Haven't seen you for a while. Oh, we can't hear you.
Yeah, yeah, we can't hear you.
Still. Hello, Amy.
Hello, Dar. Hello, team.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So we start with a little physical experience, and we tested out before the space, and it's gonna be, you might not hear me so well, so maybe Zozan, you can also like speak loud if they can't hear me.
Mhm.
And what we're gonna do, just as a warm up to connect to our feelings, because this work talk is about feelings. And we're going to go to finding one body part in our physical body. We're going to stand up and we're going to find one body part that we feel anger from, specifically anger. It's like one part of us that is like you feel either tension or some like annoyance or distress or some kind of sensation that makes you feel like there's anger there. And we're going to put some music and start to connect to this. So you can move from this place of anger and use the music and the connection to create more connection into this body part of you that you feel the anger for. So let me just share the music. And you can stand up and just start and find like start scanning your body and start feeling if there's anger anywhere in your body. Just close your eyes and find where it is. You can use your hands to touch your body and to scan it. And just say out loud the place where you feel the anger if you found it already. For me, it's the knee.
Shoulder. Both.
Yeah, I feel it more like in my front area.
Okay, great. And start moving. Use the music to move and connect more into the anger. And see how this body part wants to speak through your whole body. Can you hear the music, Rosa?
Yes.
parts wants to move from your anger. And as you increase the movement, increase the anger that is in your system. And maybe now it's your whole body moving with anger. The expression of anger in your body, maybe it looks a certain way. Hey, slowly bring it down. Take like 20 seconds to bring it down and come to an end. And please come back in front of the screen when you're ready. Thank you for experimenting. Anyone found anything interesting? Okay, let's move to the next thing. Just kidding. More time. More time to find that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that I was definitely holding back because I like to dance to angry music or like fast-paced music, and I felt I was very aware of my own censorship, like of feeling fear of going too much into my anger while in the presence of other people.
Mm. Thank you.
Yeah.
I found something like the music that I chose was not an angry music. It was capoeira music, kind of happy even. And I wanted to bring the movement, but really for us to like find the anger in the body. It's like I could put like heavy metal music, but I want us to create the connection, the anger. And what I felt is this kind of the anger came from me as this like tension to move from place to place. It's like this tension that was in my body, but I was not like it was not being expressed. It was like it was in my knees, but it made like my whole body move like this. And just a moment before I didn't express this movement. Like I didn't have this movement to speak the anger from my knees.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay.
We heard you.
It's working? Okay.
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. So hi. What I actually enjoy going to anger. I mean now like connecting to it, and I felt a lot in my throat. It's like I kind of imagined there's a fireball there that is like rising with the music and with the movement. And it's just yeah, then it spread to my shoulders, and it's nice to move it around or like really connecting to it. And I know that like it's about like it wanna be like spoken out, like really being expressed. Because I think I was lately holding a lot inside of it, and now it was nice to connect to it and yeah, finally get there. And yeah, with the music to move it around. Yeah, I actually enjoyed, and I wish I did like, or I do more times, or I do it longer and longer, and like express it more and more. So yeah, I like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greta.
Thank you.
I felt the fear that was like on my shoulder, and then it started expressing, and then it like became more the fear. And now I also feel like the fear in the instead of the anger in my muscle. Yeah.
What was like the movement of the anger, though? How did the anger express there in your shoulders?
It was like creating movement to. What do you mean with how did it move? Like
Was it like tension, or it wanted to move, or like you said, it changed to fear? The anger changed to fear. So I wonder, like the moment before, how did the anger felt in your shoulders?
it felt I'm getting this attention. And it was feeling like some more space.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for a king and queen to share something. You don't have to share, but or you're the queen because you stayed up until 2 a.m. for this. So you're
Well, I fell asleep a bit, so it's made me like worse now.
Hmm. And Uwe is the king because you eat every time you come to a space. And we and we created a legend about that. And now there is also an experiment that was invented from your. Anyone wants to share the experiment? Because the initiator team from Connect already knows that. Zozan and Maria. So it's about, we invented this experiment about eating like a king. Because in the beginning it freaked us out that you ate, because usually we don't eat in spaces. But then it was like, actually it was cool because we all expanded our boxes for a moment and we're like, why not? And then we started to eat in the initiator meeting. And then I brought this experiment to eat like a king. Like if you already eat something, like, you can experiment in doing it like in a, just experiment with that. So would you do this experiment with us?
With you mean who? Me now?
Yes.
Okay. So any suggestions about like how to do that?
I don't know. We tried to figure it out before.
Okay.
We didn't really.
Sure. Yeah. No,
Why
that's
these
okay.
questions?
I like that.
Whatever that is for you. I mean,
And you were freaking out. You said like you didn't say anything. Like I didn't hear words. I was assuming like you're totally fine. That's funny. Okay.
but we did talk about it. Like we all freaked out in
Yeah.
our own box. but we didn't
Yeah.
share anything.
Cardinal sin, yeah.
Okay, so anyone wants to go grab food right now and experiment with eating like a king or a queen? You have a minute to do so.
I just ate. So.
Yeah, I'm not hungry yet. For me, it's 6 a.m. Like after 6 a.m.
Oh. I also used 8.
Mm.
Yeah, same. um,
Hmm.
Is that your lunch? Was that your lunchtime, Yue?
Kind of,
Lunchtime.
yeah. I mean, no, actually not lunch, but just breakfast, late breakfast. I just got up. It's 11 a.m. here in Mexico, just roundabout. So bananas and avocados, like, mashed up.
Bananas and avocado
Mashed up, yeah.
together?
It's a Mayan breakfast kind of.
Oh, wow. I've never tried to mix the two. That's
Try and then add
maybe I
variations to that, like.
will. I'm gonna stop judging it. But it's huh.
Very rich. It's very light also, and you can make variations out of that, like add tahini, for example, or like add yogurt or something.
Oh,
Yummy, yummy.
I do have the two, but it's not gonna be as actually they're probably imported from Mexico to Japan. It's not gonna be as the same taste, but maybe I'll try tomorrow.
Actually, they don't taste much different. I mean, like they're also imported, I guess, like somewhere in Mexico. It's just the same taste of avocados and bananas that I know.
Yeah.
So nothing different. Where's Dor? He's eating out like a king or what? Ah,
Is
can you
that a
define that
grapefruit?
fruit?
I just found this thing in my house today. It's good.
like a king.
I'll start with an orange, and then I have a mango, which freaking me out to eat a mango in front of you. But
Ah,
we'll see what happens.
that's advanced practice, I guess. You need some rage for that, Dor? Like conscious
Yeah,
rage.
thank you. Okay, so while you all watch me eat, anyone wants to do the centering? Centering space.
Yes, I would like to do it. So I invite you all, except maybe Dor, to close your eyes. Yeah. Close your eyes and feel the ground underneath your feet. Like you can also move a little bit your toes to feel the connection with the ground, the earth underneath. You feel the place you're sitting on. And take a deep breath in through the nose. And breathe it out through the mouth. Then, wherever your attention has been, just right now, pull it with a little bit of anger and place it on your physical center beneath your navel. Feel the relief in your body when you are centered. Then take the clicker and click a grounding cord from your physical center to the physical center of Gaia. At 3, click it and name the color of your cord. 1, 2, 3.
Purple.
Green.
Green.
Then take the clicker and click an energetic bubble all around you. 1, 2, 3. And make sure that your energetic bubble is all covering all of your space and there is only your energy in it. And if you notice some other outside energy in it, click another small bubble with your anger and suck it all out like a vacuum cleaner and push it out of your bubble. And I'm calling the bright principles and invite you to also call in the ones which resonate with you or the ones which, you feel drawn to in this moment. Love.
Connection.
Simplicity.
Connection.
Clarity.
Integrity.
Curiosity.
Transformation.
Daring.
Love.
Determination. Empowerment.
Collaboration.
Stability.
And if you feel ready, I invite you to open slowly your eyes, come back to the space, and I will also make a golden cube around us with a black grounding cord also connected to the physical center of Gaia. Welcome to the space.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think we are all today here already did some trainings with feelings and emotions, and we're kind of aware of the 4 feelings. If I'm wrong about that, let me know. And I propose to I would just want to open the space for a second to hear for you, because maybe some people are watching this and they don't know, but it's like when for you, what worked for connecting to your 4 feelings, or for this journey to maybe also to realize that you have the 4 basic feelings. Or what worked, what is working for you now in uniquely connecting to your feelings, your 4 feelings.
For me, it's about like slowing down. That really helps, and feeling my body. Even if I don't feel feelings, just like feeling my body, sensing my body actually. That opens the door, that just like builds a bridge to feelings, to a feeling space.
Thank you. Slowing down is a big one.
For me, there is also like the part where I feel I was mainly feeling the emotions, and then it's like there is a wall, and when I can sense more what I'm feeling, there is like, there are also these feelings behind it. So it's like a layer deeper and like more awareness, like, and also the slowing down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To me, grounding is very important. Like without that, I can't really get access, or I can just very mixed, and I can't unmix them. And having like a safe space, like when I have time, and I can be alone and really get into my feelings, and feeling the body. So like body movements, dancing, shaking, that helps a lot to get access to my four feelings, and recognize them more in the body.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carla.
Yeah, also I connect through my emotions, or I connected originally through my emotions to my feelings. I mean, I always of course felt feelings, but maybe I lacked the awareness of what I was feeling. So while going through the emotions and discovering what emotion is what, that also created a better awareness of what feelings I have access to, and how to recognize them better, and how to allow them to flow more openly without suppressing them. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's one more thing I want to add. If I don't feel strong feelings, for example, and I still want to connect, in the absence of feelings, but there's always a feeling space, so to say. It feels something like, more like a vacuum, an empty space, but it's a feeling space. It's not like consciousness. It makes sense to you. And through connecting with that, I connect with the potential of feeling. Does it make any sense to you? I'm not sure. It helps me also.
Yeah, for me, it makes sense. Thank you for mentioning this feeling space. I was walking today in the boardwalk next to the beach, and I met my friend that I haven't seen for years, or for like 2 years. And in the beginning, it was more like excitement, but a bit unconscious excitement, and this a bit of giving our center to each other. And we met another friend, and I felt at a certain moment that we all gave our center to each other. And I felt, oh, now there's no, and then there was a moment I caught myself. There's no feelings in this space. It's like we're all in our head. We're all trying to just manage this situation, to be nice to each other. Like those two didn't know each other. So it was a bit like getting to know each other. And then I kind of like settled down a bit. I slowed down, like you said. And I don't know, something happened. We all slowed down. One of them left, and we just sat down on the bench. We looked at the sunset, and suddenly we started to feel. And this space that you said, Uwe, like this magic space of feeling starting to happen between me and my friend. And then we sat there for like an hour. And when I left, I almost didn't want to leave. Like the space was so precious. This feeling space that you're saying. There's another thing comes up. What helps me to connect to my feelings is when there's something happening in the world that is like sometimes it's triggering me, but it really snaps me out when I let this thing like hit me, like really the severity of it, the hardness of this thing that is happening is like just, it's like a slap, and it wakes me up and it reminds me that I'm angry. And then I can go like for a whole day, after a whole week that I wasn't really connected to my feeling, like I was, but not just to a certain extent. And I could just go around, and the whole day I'm just like connected to my anger again because of this thing. And that also helped me with the anger to go from the anger to the other feelings. And for me, the anger is more in the forefront. So anger is kind of the feeling that I was always more connected to. Mostly it came, the expression was mostly unconscious. Like people knew me as like the angry guy, the one that get pissed off a lot. But then like now with the work with anger, I kind of made it my superpower because it's really easy for me to connect. And I have this story that each of us have this feeling that is in the forefront, that is easier for us to connect. And there's a feeling that is also in the base. In the base, it means that it was kind of in the background your whole life, but it was harder for you to connect with. But it's like, it's kind of incorporate your essence. So I want us to do like this experiment right now to find these feelings, like in the forefront, in the background. Any ideas how to do this experiment?
I mean, I already have the clarity for me. I wonder if it's also clear for you, for all of you.
I don't know
Clear?
about the
Like
base
which,
part.
oh, like
I don't know
like,
about finding the base part, the base feeling.
okay.
I'm
Yeah.
sure on that.
Can you mean by the base like the less used, or is it something else?
Yeah, maybe like a feeling that is kind of strong, but you were not aware of it somehow. It was less accessible because it was covered by this other feeling or emotion, which was like the first one to go to.
So not necessarily the one you use a less, or it's like kind of like for me, the anger is the one that's pretty new for me to use. So I wonder if that's what you mean with the base.
For me, it's like there's kind of two feelings that are kind of, if you look at a map that is like a four squares. So there is one of the feelings that is the most you're most connected, like for me it's anger, and there's the feeling in the base, it's like maybe it's next to it. So it was kind of in the background, but it's really, if you look at me, if you look at my being, it's kind of part of who I am. I don't want to give away for me what it is, but and then there's two feelings that it's really hard for me to connect to. And I really need to do a lot of work to connect to. So it's really, it like really takes an effort and a work to connect to those two feelings. It's not that I don't connect to them sometimes, it's just not so natural. Like,
Thank you.
And what experiment do you suggest?
so one fun experiment is we can do the guessing experiment. And it's really about like your intuition and, you know, sharing with the other person what you think they are, but also like guessing for yourself. So it starts with you guessing on yourself, and then we can do it in groups of 3. And then the other 2 people give you like feedback about it. Like they tell you, basically, it's not feedback, it's like they tell you what do they see in you. So you have like 3 minutes to share about yourself, about what it is for you that you think. You can go into this like inner exploration journey where the other 2 people just hold space for you, and you're starting to share, you know, and you're going in. And then 3 minutes, the other 2 people, they just share with you, or maybe even you don't have to like clearly tell them, but you can like a cool thing that I like to do when I share this with people is to offer them, to open them the doors to see that. Like, for example, hey, did you notice that sometimes you're really great at connecting with people by sharing them stories that happened to you? And, it's like, oh, so maybe it's sadness. So you're like implying, or you're sharing, opening doors. So it wouldn't be like, this is you. And you're like, no, it's not. So as the space holders, you can like open doors for them to figure it out.
What might help is like if you don't know what it is, like if you start with a recent challenging situation, because usually it shows up there big time, the go-to feeling and the other feeling, like the secondary emotion, no, the primary emotion, so to say. It might help.
Can you repeat that again, the first two sentences?
If you don't know what it is, if you just like guessing wildly, so to say, which is also an option, of course, to guess wildly. Just imagine like a recent challenging situation that you found yourself in, and how did you react there? What was your the loudest emotion, so to say? And then usually that's a bridge also into something that is less loud, like a bit more difficult to feel. Those situations are a bridge into those into that layering of emotions.
Okay, cool. So I propose so we can really go and open that thing. You have a bit more, let's say like 4 minutes to share about yourself, and then 3 minutes for your team to share about you, and then we switch like this. Suzanne, are you? No, I'm gonna do the breakout rooms.
Yes, I don't have access to them.
Yeah, I just remembered last time.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Offers?
No. But maybe, yes, maybe one hint actually to consider someone mentioned it already in the space, like to pay attention to your like physical body, and you can consider also the other bodies in trying to understand better what feelings you're connected to.
Yeah. They're coming into expression in your body also. It's a good hint, like the way you walk, the way you move. You can see that. Like you can see someone that anger is in their front because the way they move. Okay. Let's go and experiment. See you in the breakout rooms.
In the past.
Sorry, something didn't record.
And I was just thinking of it earlier, a couple hours ago, because I was listening to some album I've never heard, and I was like, oh, this is really angsty. And I like it. And I thought, oh, it's like I had to not pretend to cry, but like I felt like I could only go there a little bit now. And I was like, wow, it's beautiful that this album can make me do this a bit, but it's not like back in the day for me. Actually, that's funny because I feel like this week I'd been attracted to that's a new album I've never heard by a younger artist, but I was attracted to listening to music like A Perfect Circle from like 2000 when I was in high school or before high school, and it like The Cure and stuff that I don't listen to that much anymore, but so anyway, anger used to come out a lot unconsciously, and then through art it's been the one that I could go to more consciously. And then when we did the training, it's very interesting to learn these new ways to use it that aren't like doing some kind of art. But I want to say the last thing I want to say is as I've been doing the EHPs now, I guess I have a lot of mixed feelings mixed feelings, I mean. And that makes just a big question mark on a lot for me.
What is the question mark about?
Um, well, then it goes into like, I know I've asked it before. It's like, well, what's the difference between the feelings and emotions? And then there's like, I'll just go right into like, am I even feeling, is this even fear? Or is this joy? Or is the joy like masking the fear and it's really just fear, but it's me uncomfortable and releasing some kind of emotion by doing the thing that I um agreed with. I made the pirate agreement with Amy on uh is that when I feel the that I'm laughing for like I don't remember how we phrase it, but I'm gonna say like unnecessarily or out of uncomfortability or something. I'm watching that. Um, but there is still I don't know, I'm questioning like is that joy or is that just all fear or I don't know, maybe the exploration of that makes me feel a bit of joy when we get past the like feeling ashamed that people have found me out that I'm and I notice that I do it sometimes as I've been in another country now that's I'm hopping around these countries. I'm seeing where I do it as a way to connect with other people, or maybe it doesn't communicate the same way in this culture as it was in like Thailand or something last. And I'm seeing like maybe where, or I could be wrong on this, but where other people do it to me too because there is this like in Japan and in Korea, there's like a lot of like the saving face culture, like that you don't want the other person to be embarrassed, so you do you know about this, guys? Maybe I'm just doing
Share
it
a little
wrong.
bit about that. It's like, what is in the core of that? Just go immediately to the core of that.
Oh, it's sort of like a rescuer role in a way.
Mhm.
So let's say somebody like drops something. If I drop something on the subway and it's like yeah, maybe something more embarrassing than dropping it. I'm not thinking of like the best example,
But
but
other people would come and
no,
say
they would
sorry.
ignore it unless it was really bad, like just because it could be embarrassing to that person. So we're not gonna like pay attention to it. Um, unless it's not like they wouldn't help, but I'm not thinking of the best example. Um, there's also this other weird conscientious thing that I don't know if it has to do with it, but I've dropped a lot of change while I've been here, and people will actually go back and bring it to me. And I don't think that's ever happened to me in America, or maybe I didn't drop change over there. There's like little things, and then I'll laugh and they'll laugh too. Like it's so awkward. It's funny though now to me that it's like people trying to relieve um their uncomfortability maybe, but have some like is it a superficial connection? There's more on the saving face also. It's sort of like you wouldn't be direct to that person, like and tell them their flaws. So if I wanted the air conditioner like to be colder, I wouldn't say it's cold. I wouldn't say like, could you please turn that up or down or whatever? I'd be like, oh, wow, it's really cold. And then they would infer with that, and oh, let me make it warmer for you in here. There's like these little things that just add
Okay,
up in culture.
so time for 3 minutes to discover from what you shared what is in the feeling that is in your forefront and in the back. And I got some hints, and I wonder what kata have for you.
I feel fear is in the front for you. I mean, like what you shared about this, like embarrassment and like being uncomfortable. To me, like it showed the emotion is the fear behind it. I mean, that was my expression, or yeah, impression that's what you talked about the most. So that's in the front, and it's there. What do you think, Dor?
Yeah, I think so too. What's in the base? And you can share with her in the way that, like, it's like she's opening a present right now. So you can share with her, like, open that door to that place. You don't have to tell her. You can say, what was it about when this and this happened? Because this is the clue that you got.
I'm confused. I mean, I have a guess, but at the same time, yeah, I'm a bit confused because sadness was like what you talked about, that it was in the front, but then still, you also mentioned, yeah, you kind of care about what other people are feeling or how they felt. And yeah, it could be the sadness that it's really in the base. And you also mentioned that you can't get easily access to it anymore, but it feels good when now you found it again. What do you think?
I think, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I think it was something about you're laughing a lot, and having joy about a lot of things, but it doesn't, like, I don't know, it's like it feels like it's still in the base, like it's like there's the queen quality, that's the joy in the base. It's like it's like what I think what Kata was saying about caring about people is like about holding space for people to be whatever they are. And so you can go into these cultures and see their freakishly things and hold space for it and kind of see the joy in that. And also like the joy in your fear. So I think maybe the joy is there in the back. Because I see it's really easy for you to connect to the joy. Also, it's like not very easy, but it's there a lot in the background.
Yeah. I want to know a little more of the unmixing the feelings, as I guess I'm learning as I'm going because of the questioning of this. And
So,
yeah, because also when I do think of the past, I think I cried like every day of my life till I don't know, like my early 30s. And it was often like I did feel a lot of anger and stuff underneath, but the sadness was like that would take
yeah, I
over the
mean,
most.
all the feelings are there, and like you're saying, a lot of times they're just mixed. And I think, except from doing emotional healing process, which is unmixing them in the emotional healing process, what I think is happening to you right now, because you started with this work and you're starting to see all these different feelings, and you're starting to see how they get mixed already, as you mix them already in the present. Like you can see already something is happening, and I'm mixing fear and joy and sadness and anger. And now it's going to be like you're going to start to, like, unmix them in the moment and feel them separately. Still at the same time, but separately, not mixed.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
So
I know that it's something has changed in this week since doing the first EHP and then this one that I did the other day, but it's hard to even put it into words.
I'll be back in 20 seconds. You can keep sharing.
Okay. I was just wondering, what do you think, what made the change about your sadness? Because you said that it was usually on the front, but somehow it get to the background more, or the fear came closer to the. Do you
A
know
lot
any?
of things. Yeah, a lot of things with healing, and so it'd be hard to pinpoint. Are you still there? It's kind of frozen.
Here it's frozen, but I can hear you. You can hear me?
Wonder if it's on my end.
No, mine is frozen too. Oh, you can't hear me.
Maybe it's mine.
Yeah, Moria, I think it's you because I see Kata.
Oh, yeah, you're moving on.
Okay. If you have still this open thread,
Okay, it totally froze out there for me. Did mine freeze up for you?
Yeah, you froze.
Yeah. Now it's still frozen.
so I propose that you keep going with this thread. Later you can connect, you can meet. And I want to just move to the third person so everyone can finish together.
No.
So I'm the third person, and my feeling.
Maybe.
I think she can't hear us.
Yes, so for me it's anger in the forefront. It's like the easiest feeling to get connected to, and it came a lot unconsciously. But in the background is sadness, and I have that's why I have this pirate role, because pirates are actually about sadness. They're about connecting, creating a team, bringing a team on a boat, to this journey, improvising, jumping from place to place. That's kind of the pirate, and it's about sadness, because sadness is about connection. And
Oh.
and sadness, it's always like Kata described it great. I hope the recording is there of what you said. Please stop recording for a second. But like you said, it's like this feeling that I always kind of like, oh, I don't want to connect to my sadness right now. I want to go more with the anger. I want to do more, like do. But then when I just lay in that, it's so powerful. It's like when I just let a bit of my sadness to come, people say, wow, I feel connected to you. Or like, people suddenly get me. Or so yeah, it's like a tidal wave that is like in the background, but once I open the dam of the sadness, it's like this wave, and it has like a humph.
It's like always you have a wall between this, like in the background, and yourself. But there's this little door there, and then you open and it comes out with this power. Um, and but I was wondering about this pirate role that you mentioned. Actually, so what we are, that that background feeling, what we are really.
Yeah, it's closer to your being.
Mm-hmm. I thought it's more the front. Okay. Like what you can connect the most. I thought that's more you, but then actually, yeah, now it makes sense. Didn't know I am that. So it's like more like getting to know yourself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get to that more in the next exercise about like these special roles and stuff, but it's like you have this superpower of the anger. I mean, for you, Kata, is the sadness, right? In the forefront.
Front, yes.
So you have this superpower of the sadness too. It's not that you don't have, it's easier to connect, but closer to your being, you have this like, archetypal role that you maybe didn't even connect to so much. Like for me, all my life I was this like warrior, this like rager, right? Like ranger. But in the back, I had this pirate that I didn't know about. And once I connected to that, it's like, it really, like, it's the biggest influence in my life. And it's almost like I shackled myself. I stopped myself from doing that. It's like, can you share it again in your example about how you were connected to sadness? It was easier for you, but it was hard for you to go to your anger. Can you share that again? Because it's like, it's explained that perfectly.
You mean that, yeah, so yeah, then the front, the sadness, yeah, I always feel that it's always there. So it's like I don't even need to make an effort to connect to it. It's like me, like it's my whole thing. But in there, yeah, the anger is like I know that it's there. I'm aware of it, but I don't let it out because I don't want to. It's hard to connect to it. Or feels hard to if I get there. It's like a huge energy. So I always like just yeah, you're there, but stay. And then when I let it out to get access to it, it's like yes, that wave that it's like power comes out of me. Like yes, now I connected and that's who I am. And it's when you say this that actually the base feeling is the one that who you are. It's really now it's a good reminder to me that's like when I play the warrior role that I connect to my anger, then I feel that power that that's me and that's what I want to do. But yeah, I'm still like pushing it like, okay, no, just be the sadness, but because that's who you are, who you connect to people, because I love the connection and take care of others. But actually, yes, maybe I should open that door for my base feeling more and then feel that, phew, I arrived. Yes, that's great. Thank you. Now I got clarity, really.
Yeah, it's that. I told Moria about this story that I was in 𝕨𝕒𝕒𝕒 and I was this pirate, like just going around and really like telling people I'm a pirate. Like I really, I took this role of a pirate. I was limping because I had an injury in my foot. So I was like limping, like, and it was really powerful to connect to that. Like, and people can really see that, and it's connecting people to me, because almost I think there's something big in what you said. It's like almost because it's not comfortable for me to connect to this feeling, and people see that, and they see us still connected to it. It's almost like serving yourself in the most vulnerable way possible. And then it opened this space for people to be vulnerable too. And maybe that's kind of the magic of that.
It's being authentic, like really the authenticity.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's like the deepest authenticity to yourself, because when people say they're authentic, sometimes they talk about their views or their positions or opinions, but it's really being authentic with the base feeling, with a feeling that sits inside. For so long, it's hard for you to bring it up, and you manage to find this connection. All right, time is up. I'm gonna close all the rooms and see you back in the main room.
Thank you. See you.
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 Daar. I can't hear you.
We have 2.5 minutes each to share about this superpower, to figure it or to figure out the superpower, and now we're connecting to it from one of the feelings. So did you discover which one is in your base?
No, I got feedback of all different. Maybe anger, maybe fear, maybe joy.
Okay. What did you think?
I said fear, so I got the other one that they didn't said.
You said fear at the forefront? It's like
On the
easier
front
for you to
side,
connect to
sadness. Sadness, the front, and fear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sadness is the easiest for you to connect to from the four feelings?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and fear in the base. It makes sense to me.
Mm.
Because I mean I shared with you a bunch of times that you're a wizard, so I think it's your superpower is there. And I also saw evidence to that. So, and I'm in the forefront. I'm a like anger rager. I'm like a ranger. And in the back, the pirate, the sadness.
Hmm.
That is for me. And my question is like how, like maybe you can share with me how can I connect more to the superpower of sadness that I'm not that I don't know about yet.
So, what comes to me is like the sadness is like more about slowing down and like being vulnerable and like take the time to connect and it's like a softness also in there is this beauty also in sadness. So there is this softness. Is this what you're asking?
Yeah. And it's interesting because when you're saying those things, it's exactly, I feel my resistance to go there. It's exactly the things that I have resistance because of them to connect to my sadness. Because I know that I need to slow down and be more vulnerable and be soft.
Hmm.
But then when I do connect to them, it's really powerful for me. Like, for example, when I just find enough time to slow down, I can suddenly work on my book. Because it takes more like this softness, more vulnerability to write a book, you know?
Hmm.
It's just one example. Yeah,
Now I switch.
helpful, yeah.
I feel I'm not really getting the exercise.
So no, I just need to share with you what in fear you can connect to more to make it more of your superpower.
Hmm.
Connect more to your superpower with fear.
And you tell me.
Yeah. Do you want to hear?
Yes. Tell me.
Gosh, I don't know how to say it. I'm not good with fear, but it's something about like using more power within the fear. It's like really using the power of the fear as magic, like not as something that goes to you, it's like that affects you, but something that is outside you. Like I seen people really see the future. Like I met this woman in 𝕨𝕝 that she was kind of a witch, and she said she's a seer. You know, she could see into the future. So it's like she's really connected to the fear, to these like magic powers of it. And yeah, like people have prophecies, people see visions, people interpreted dreams. I saw you when I mean, yeah, so I think that's kind of the next step for you to connect to the fear. I think you're already connected to it, but it just like,
Yeah, no, lately I have this like connecting with the fear that I have realized lately, that I wake up in the middle of the night with the fear and it's like telling me something. And then I'm just ignoring it. And then after a week, it's like it comes back. And then I was like, oh, now lately I'm like, oh, okay, so I should follow this impulse. And then I followed it, and then I got the feedback, oh, I'm so thankful you reached out because of this. And I was like, wow. So I am getting this information sometimes, but I was not listening.
thank you for sharing. Yeah, I think that is it. And our time is over before everyone would run. Thank you, Emmy. I'll bring
Thank
us
you.
back to the main room.
Yes.
I hope it recorded what you said in the beginning, Kata.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It just came
Cool.
out really.
I was literally thinking, wow, so great that you shared that. I'm like happy that this study group has been recorded. And then I look up and I don't see the recording thing anymore.
Yeah,
it's-
once I heard this, that like recording started and like again.
Yeah.
And
I think usually, I think this time I recorded on online and not on my laptop, and that's why it stopped it when we went into breakout rooms.
Oh.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Please take a deep breath to land here together again. Anyone wants to share anything? Okay, never mind. Let's move to the next thing. I'm just
I
kidding.
just have one, like what I really get clarity about this base and like who you are and stuff that, and now I'm just stuck with the question that why is it so hard to connect to your base, to your authenticity? Why is it so, like why we, or why society or us ourselves just don't let it to happen or to connect to that base, that background, who you are? Why is it so difficult? Like, what can be the reason? I mean, there are like several reasons, obviously,
Yeah.
like all these beliefs and everything that's in culture. Yeah. So,
I'm glad you asked that because I was like, wait, let's not go to the next thing. Because I was thinking of these reasons of like we were just talking about the authenticity thing in our breakout room. Um, and I think like as I become more authentic, um, the joy comes out more. And actually, as I was saying, like, is that my base? I think there was this thing in the background, like, do I deserve to say that joy, which is like the feeling that, like high vibe, it's high vibe, and it's like, yay, everyone praises it over the others, as you get into healing, and it's like, but they're all just feeling. It doesn't matter. But also I think the joy, I feel like a stigma around, especially when it's a base of, all right, it reminds me a lot of a psychedelic trip that I had, like one of the first ones that was like an ego death, and the universe became really maniacal and was just like it was so terrifying, but it was so funny. And there was like all this joy in that. And that I think scares us existentially. I'm just going to go out on a whim and say that. I think people are afraid of joy. I've even been told when I was younger, I remember when I was I must have been like 19, I was working at a coffee shop, and some guy came in and was like, "You're always smiling. Why are you always smiling?" Like, I know. So maybe that answers something.
Yeah, it's like almost like it's easier for me to explain joy in what is conscious joy. It's easier to explain to someone, just say you're king or queen, than to say joy, because joy is being so corrupted in modern culture. Like people almost don't know what it is anymore. Like I didn't know almost what it is.
Mm,
I had some a little connection to it, but yeah, it's almost like and the king and queen is really about holding space and celebrating and seeing people where they are. That's more like conscious joy expression, and that's what queens and kings do.
mm.
What I'm wondering about is like in the old map of feelings, like joy is considered as positive, right? But now, as we mentioned this all, that it sounds like negative in the end. So I never thought about this. Like, yeah, it's interesting. Like it's also not allowed. Like anger is not allowed.
Yeah.
Joy that is considered positive, not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So Zan, what happened in your group? I'm
Yes,
curious.
it was very interesting. Like, thank you, Amy and Uwe, for the exchange. Yeah, all three of us had very different combinations, and of course, maybe Uwe and Amy choose for themselves whether they want to share. So I can just share from my point. Yeah, for me, it was very clear that my sadness is in the forefront and the covering feeling. And yet I discovered that, yeah, fear is somehow like a second, very strongly available feeling for me, like so available that I didn't notice for a long time that it's so available. And at the same time, it seems that anger is also in my base. So, yeah, it seems like in my case, it's not only two feelings, but three, which are much stronger represented. And yeah, I didn't speak about my joy, but I can have access to my joy. Like when I do have access to it, it's like very intense. And I think I switch into a different role also through it, but it's not constantly present, not as much as the other feelings. And also in the group, we noticed like how one person had two feelings, which were, yeah, actually maybe like in the whole group, in our whole group, everyone had access to more three feelings and not only two, like a stronger connection with three feelings. And
That's why we put you together.
yeah, yes. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it very much. It's very interesting. And also the question of the old map, looking at the feelings, and the new map came up as well. So it seems like it's yeah, it's still like something that people are dealing with or processing and moving from the old map to the new map. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I wonder how many like different strategies like this, or I don't know how to call it yet, even like channels. For example, like you said, with the joy, when you feel joy, you get connected to a different character, a different role. And there is a lot of experiments here to do, to check. Like for me, it's like what was in the base and what was in the forefront, but also like what happens when you feel these other feelings that you never connect to. What happens to you? That is this feeling on the side. I think for me, it's something similar with joy. It's like harder for me to connect to my joy. It's like easier for me to go to my anger. It's like, but then when I connect to the joy, there's something else happens. So it's also an interesting like experiment to check each one of us uniquely in themselves. What is all these relationships to feelings?
Mhm.
I would like to suggest something that, in my experience, like, for example, my go-to feeling is anger, and underneath that there's more like fear and sadness. But I suggest, to my experience, like, I'm not really connected to either one of them. I'm just I'm disconnecting from anger by like, wanting to blurt it out, so to say, and I'm disconnecting from sadness or from fear, but by not wanting to go there. But to me, like all the feelings that I have present, like I'm disconnected with, and I suggest that's the norm. So with the term like, connect more easily to a certain feeling, I don't really agree with, at least to my experience and what I see in people also, or my hunch is. And yes, so these are just the different forms of dissociation from my end. Like, I don't know what do you think about that? And even like the so-called base feeling, to me, that's it's also a cover-up for me, but that would take a whole different direction. I'm just saying, like, there's complexity and depth to that, the whole thing.
What do you mean by cover up?
Meaning sadness, for example, like sadness is mostly associated to loneliness, and so that's something like in me feels like a hole inside. So the sadness is not exactly, or at least the way I experience it, is not exactly me or more authentic me. It's just closer to the hole that I'm feeling inside, and it's what is in that hole of loneliness, so to say. What is in that? What's happening in that space? And some people talk about essence, so to say, or bright principles, if you will. Like, that I think it gets closer to that hole as an eye of Neil. But basically, everything on top of such a felt of absence is cover up, so to say, of not wanting to feel that, which I experience as a hole in my side, in my chest, for example. Quickly, briefly put.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it wasn't recorded, sadly. I was like, for a moment there, I was like, in a group Kata shared, it's connected to what you're saying, Uwe. And I was like, oh, I'm so happy that this is being recorded. And what she shared about their anger that being in the base, she did a rage club with us. And that's what helped her to connect to this huge force. Background, and was like this, how do you say, like suppressed and then Kata, it's okay that I'm sharing? Then you said yes?
Yes.
Okay. So and then in the rage club she connected to that anger was, in the rage club we work with anger mostly, and was in the base, and it's like really it's like a feeling that is harder for her to connect, but once she's connecting, it's so powerful. She's like, can go on and do things, and it's almost like a wave. It's suddenly, yeah, what we discover in our group is that in the forefront, the feeling that you can use easily, it's easily accessible, but it has less oomph. And when you connect to the one that is in the base, like for me, it's sadness. It's like being this pirate, and suddenly when I become, it's easier for me to just go and be angry and stuff. But when I connect to my vulnerability and my sadness with people, it really hits. It really suddenly have a oomph to it, because it's like this base feeling is closer to my being. And of course that we have all the feelings, you know, as adult, we have all the 4 feelings, and also we have mixed feelings and stuff, but just something that is closer. So Uwe, what I'm suggesting also is like, maybe you still didn't connect to anger, but also maybe didn't, you know, you didn't explore that enough time from the new map. Like, of all the feelings are okay, they don't need a reason. And then it's like, you know, you find that, like Kata found that in the Rage Club. It's like you find that superpower. It's like, for me to go to my sadness, it's always felt like the worst thing the wrong thing to do. Sadness is bad. It's not okay that I'm lonely and that I feel sad. But now when I'm sharing this with people, I'm connecting with that. It's so powerful for me. Still not easy to go there, but when I do that, it's
Mhm.
okay. And there's one last experiment to do, which is about what we talked about: a king, a queen, or each one of these feelings has like when we say about superpower, it's connected to this archetypal characteristic of this feeling. So the joy is about being a king or a queen. The anger is about being a warrior or warrioress. The fear is about being a magician, a wizard. And the sadness is about being a pirate, or like a connector lover. It's really a pirate. So there's another exploration journey to do in couples. And I mean, I propose we just go into couples and explore these questions, like how you're using these feelings as your superpower, as connecting to this archetype.
And when you say these feelings, you mean like the feelings we talked about, or like secondary and primary emotions, or?
Yeah, the anger, sadness, fear, and joy. And maybe the one in your forefront in the moment, you can see more of the superpower of it, or maybe the one in the base, you can already connect to that archetype and see it like the okay, yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, and the timing, or what time are you planning on? Because we have, I think, 7 minutes or 6 left
Sounds good.
officially.
Hmm.
I mean, I propose we use the 6 minutes that we have, and then we have 30 minutes to hang out if someone wants to stay. And so, yeah.
Cool.
Okay. See you in the breakout rooms. I didn't close the breakout rooms. Oh, there you go. Kata just in the last breakout room, she said she was like really having like this dragon speaking moment where she spoke from her clear anger with her clarity, and she said, amazing things. And all I was thinking while she said it is like, I'm so glad that it's been recorded. And then I look up and I see it was not recorded. The whole part where she talked. You could do it.
Where are we now? Are we in the main room? Because I need to leave.
Yeah, we're in the
I
people
have
are talking still, so they come back soon in 6 seconds.
Sorry?
No, I'm saying people would come in 2 seconds. Do you need to leave?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
I have
Thank
to
you.
leave. But
You need
thank
to-
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming. High level.
See you in outer space.
Bye, Amy.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to keep the space open for another 30 minutes or so to hang out. So anyone who want to hang out, welcome to stay. And I need to go on a toilet break.
Okay.